much. Good evening to you all. My name is Victor During. I will be hosting this ceremony tonight in name of the Center for Education and Research and Innovation of the FGV São Paulo Law School. It is a great honor to be to have the opportunity to host the 2019 Global Tech Venture Day here in São Paulo, Brazil, and to have all of you with us here tonight. So, to start our welcome notes, I would like to ask to announce this very honorable row of speakers, starting with our own Professor Oscar Vilhena Vieira, which is the Dean of FGV Law School, Professor Javier de Sendra, which is the Dean of IU University Law School, which is co-organizing this event along with us from the Center of Education, Research and Innovation, Mr. Renato Curi, President of AASP, the Attorneys Association of São Paulo, who has very generously concurred to sponsor and believe in this event. And last but not least, Professor Alexandre Pacheco and Professor Marina Pfefferbaum, both of them professors of FGV Law School and coordinators of the Center for Education and Research and Innovation, who are promoting this edition of Venture Day here at São Paulo, Brazil. So, without any more delays, I would ask our guests to speak. Professor Oscar, please, you may have the floor.
Boa noite a todas e a todos. Está funcionando? Tá. Então, boa noite a todos e a todos. Embora o protocolo fosse para que eu falasse em inglês, como acho que 99% do público em português, eu vou me render. Eu não sou muito de me render a maioria, mas dessa vez eu vou me render a maioria. E o meu querido amigo Javier me disse que não tinha nenhum problema, ele fala português como Camões. Então, então nós seguiremos em português. Então, olha, primeiro é um enorme prazer, uma felicidade imensa estar recebendo todos vocês aqui para esse Venture Day, que eu diria já se tornou um sucesso na nossa agenda de eventos, né? Eu queria agradecer, em primeiro lugar, sem dúvida nenhuma, o professor Javier. Nós somos parceiros em outras iniciativas, uma iniciativa onde, em alguma medida, isso está hospedado, embora isso seja uma iniciativa que começou no IE, que é uma escola de ponta no mundo todo, uma escola de grande inovação no mundo todo. E o Javier tem sido uma liderança incansável na vanguarda, não só da qualificação do ensino jurídico, mas, sobretudo, na discussão sobre a tecnologia e o impacto dessa tecnologia sobre o direito. Então, para nós é um prazer, Javier, estar te recebendo aqui. É sempre muito estimulante, as suas provocações são sempre importantíssimas, eu acho que para a comunidade jurídica como um todo, das escolas que compõem a Liga de Escolas de Direito, é uma liga que hoje está com 28 escolas ao redor do mundo, onde está ancorado esse projeto. Então, primeiro eu queria dar boas-vindas ao Javier, prazer estar com você aqui e um prazer estar desenvolvendo esse projeto que você, em alguma medida, é o idealizador. Eu queria também agradecer ao meu querido amigo Renato. Eu falo só para que eu fique mais velho e ele mais novo, que foi meu aluno, é um privilégio, aprendo a cada dia que encontro com o Renato, é um prazer. E essa parceria com a Associação dos Advogados tem sido importantíssima, porque a preocupação do Renato, não só de dar empreender a inovação dentro da profissão jurídica, mas junto com isso também uma revisão, uma reformulação até dos princípios que marcam o exercício da advocacia. Então, é para nós um privilégio tê-lo aqui e continuar essa parceria que tem sido muito frutífera entre a Escola de Direito da Fundação Getúlio Vargas e a Associação dos Advogados de São Paulo. Queria, por fim, agradecer aos meus queridos amigos e fonte de inspiração, a Marina Pfefferbaum e o Alexandre, que também foi vítima de ser meu aluno. A Marina bateu na trave, né? Que tem sido a figura-chave no projeto de inovação que nós estabelecemos como prioridade dentro da Escola de Direito já faz alguns anos. Bom, feitos os agradecimentos, eu queria dizer apenas duas coisas. Eu pouco precisarei dizer sobre o impacto que a tecnologia está tendo sobre a profissão, porque vocês são este impacto. Vocês são os inovadores que estão trazendo isso. Então, nada que eu possa dizer aqui certamente será novidade para vocês. Tá? Então, eu gostaria de resumir os meus 2 minutos que restam a um elemento que me parece fundamental para uma escola de direito. Tá? As escolas de direito são um artefato razoavelmente antigo do ponto de vista da formação acadêmica no mundo. Eles têm cerca de 900 anos. Né? E elas sofreram muito pouca inovação ao longo de 900 anos. Tá? E é muito impressionante como, no lapso de uma década, elas estão tendo que rever muitas daquelas formas pelas quais elas ensinam direito, que perduraram, aí é brincadeira dos 900 anos, mas pelo menos no último século. Né? O impacto é fortíssimo sobre as escolas de direito. Isso eu não digo simplesmente pelo impacto da tecnologia, mas pela a sobreposição de processos que nós estamos assistindo. Então, em primeiro lugar, nós temos uma sobreposição de processos, que é uma espécie de colonização de todas as outras áreas pelas ciências mais quantitativas. Quer dizer, então, a economia passou por isso há um bom tempo, a ciência política tem passado por isso também há algum tempo. Recentemente teve na escola o Francis Fukuyama, talvez conhecido de alguns, o homem que escreveu O Fim da História, dos maiores cientistas políticos hoje vivos, e eu conversando com ele sobre metodologia de ciência política, ele falou assim, hoje eu não passava no concurso da pior departamento de ciência política dos Estados Unidos com o grau de matemática que eu sei. Tá? Ou seja, as humanidades cada vez mais estão sendo obrigadas a compreender o quanto a ciência de dados vai reformular e refundar as nossas profissões. Né? Eu estou trabalhando agora num projeto enorme sobre o estabelecimento dos danos, no projeto de Mariana, né? O que os advogados estão sendo obrigados a fazer para compreender o impacto e o quanto eles estão fazendo uso da tecnologia e da ciência de dados, né? Para fazer aquilo que nós tradicionalmente fazíamos juridicamente, com as nossas mentes muito mais de experiência. Né? Então, é algo fundamental. Então, eu acho que a primeira coisa que nós temos que entender é que as ciências matemáticas, as ciências duras, impactarão as nossas vidas e nós temos que rever o nosso padrão de formação. Tá? Em segundo lugar, é que nós temos necessariamente que abandonar o padrão fundante da nossa ciência, que é o binarismo entre dizer se algo é legal ou ilegal, né? Eu que fui procurador do Estado, então a minha pergunta era sempre essa, isso pode ou não pode? Evidentemente que isso sempre estará, isso é da natureza do direito, mas, sobretudo, nós estamos sendo convidados agora para sermos arquitetos, tá, de solução de problemas complexos que a sociedade tem. Esses problemas podem ter natureza regulatória, esses problemas podem ter natureza negocial. A grande função do advogado é se conjugar com outras profissões para a construção dessas soluções. E aí, necessariamente, nós temos que ser um profissional híbrido capaz de estabelecer uma relação muito fluida com as outras áreas de conhecimento. Né? E, por último, evidentemente, numa sociedade que está mudando com esta velocidade, tá? Onde os processos de tomada de decisão e os meios pelos quais nós somos afetados são cada vez mais integrados, tá? Nós todos somos afetados pela Google, nós todos somos afetados pelas diversas formas de organização da economia e das nossas vidas, as externalidades desses negócios serão cada vez mais impactantes também sobre as nossas vidas, né? E isso, em alguma medida, os advogados também, além de arquitetos para a solução de negócios, para a solução regulatória, eles também terão que trabalhar com as grandes externalidades. Quer dizer, quando nós estamos falando de dados, que hoje são o elemento mais fundamental na construção das decisões econômicas, né? Um caso como o da Cambridge Analytics gera necessariamente uma externalidade profunda nas democracias mais estáveis do mundo. Seremos nós, os advogados, a termos que lidar com isso. Em todas essas áreas, seja da arquitetura, seja das externalidades, o direito sobreviverá. Mas ele sobreviverá na medida em que ele tem a capacidade de interagir, não só com as novas ciências, ciências do comportamento, as ciências de dados, mas, sobretudo, com a tecnologia, no qual a solução desses problemas se dará. Então, o que vocês estão fazendo aqui hoje, o que vocês veem, é nos impactar enquanto uma entidade acadêmica, tá? Com as inovações que vocês já estão fazendo. Vocês são o futuro e nós iremos aprender, e isto é uma oportunidade para cada um de nós aprender com vocês. Então, sejam bem-vindos, muito obrigado, eu desejo um excelente evento para cada um de vocês. Obrigado, meu amigo Javier, por estar aqui, a palavra é sua.
Thank you, Professor Oscar, for this brilliant speech. Just before passing the floor to Professor Javier, I'd just like to remind you, if you're tweeting or posting on social media, please use the hashtag VentureDaySP, as in Venture Day São Paulo, please. Thank you very much.
My dear friends, Oscar, Dean of FGB, dear friends from this wonderful institution, it is an absolute honor to be here with all of you to continue a journey that started last year and that already has consolidated itself into, I would say, because not obviously the only one, but one of the global initiatives that tries to promote the adaptation of legal systems, of the legal professions, of legal education through the progress that technology is experiencing in the recent years, in the last years. As my dear professor, my dear friend Oscar Liliana Vieira has just explained, these Global Legal Tech Venture Days are a collaboration that requires the work of many institutions. Of course, first and foremost, academic institutions, universities. These Global Legal Tech Venture Days were created in the context of the Law Schools Global League that was launched around 7 years ago by some of the most innovative law schools in the world, and particularly by this university, by FGB Law School, that brought together with a great vision more than 20 schools from all over the world that share the same passion about global law and about the need to innovate seriously to provide law students the resources, the skills they needed to succeed, not just at a personal level, but to succeed in the important mission that they have been asked by society to achieve. And I refer to the words of Dean Vilena Vieira a moment ago. So this association has been extremely innovative in recent years. And as a result of that innovation, we came up with the idea of launching these Global Legal Tech Venture Days, an initiative to integrate legal tech innovation in the curriculum of all law schools, but also to help those graduates from law schools that wanted to become entrepreneurs and to use technology to develop new products and services to have some of the tools that they need to do so. So there we went, and I can tell you it has been a pleasure because all the schools in this league have been really happy to collaborate, to offer their premises, to host these kind of days. And this year we are so excited because we have 8 competitions throughout the world. Now, let me give you some background so as to introduce the competition itself. If you look to recent data about the evolution of entrepreneurship in legal tech, of course, understood mainly as the development of technology to improve the work of legal professionals. Last year, around 1 billion was invested worldwide in these kind of companies. And there are around 1,000, some sources talk about more than 2,000, we are not sure, but certainly more than 2,000, more than 1,000 legal tech firms worldwide. There is also an enormous increase in global patent filings for new legal tech solutions. But despite all these numbers, it is also, or there seems to be a consensus that legal tech is in its very early days, and you will know this better than I, because lawyers are conservative. And lawyers are conservative, among other reasons, because they usually graduate from law schools that, as the Dean was mentioning a moment ago, are still very conservative. So the adoption levels of technology in law firms, and of course, is probably the worst in the public sector, are very, very low still. Also, and because of that, investors are not yet coming in very enthusiastically, and they are still waiting a little bit to see how legal tech develops to really invest in a massive amounts of money. So the rounds usually are relatively small. That said, there is a lot of hype, and of course, São Paulo, as you will know very well, is coming, and Brazil and São Paulo specifically is becoming one of those hot spots for legal tech entrepreneurship globally. So then we come to the background for our idea, for these projects. We are seeing many countries in the world that want to become clusters in this ecosystem. Some of those countries are represented in the Law Schools Global League, so we thought, let's use these universities to have a competition, to develop those clusters further, and also to connect them, to try to make sure that everything that is done, that is great in these countries, is presented to other countries, to try to make sure that the entrepreneurs that are doing great things in one city are in contact with entrepreneurs in other cities. So these are the cities that are this year involved in the projects. We started in July in the University of Torino in Italy. Then we are here. We will go to London, to King's College London in October. We'll go to Sydney in February. We'll go to Cape Town in the same month. We'll go to Tilburg, the Netherlands in March. We'll go to New Delhi in the same month in March. And then we will finish in Madrid. And you know very well that the winners from all these regionals will be invited to Madrid to pitch their projects. And from that, finally Madrid, the absolute winner of the competition will emerge. And we are, of course, already thinking in the 3rd edition, and some of the schools that belong to the league have already confirmed that they will be happy to host these events. So the next one will be Russia in the month of July next year. Now, we want, of course, to foster innovation, but then to close the loop between all those stakeholders that need to be involved for investment in this area to really, really start to grow. So the legal tech community, and we are extremely grateful for our sponsor for these events, and to Renato particularly for believing in this project. They are amazing innovators, and they are focusing their efforts on all the global initiatives, and I can name a few, and you all know them very well, that try to make São Paulo a super hub in legal tech innovation. So we're very grateful to him. But we also have accelerators, we also have incubators. South Summit is involved as well, the Allianz Hub, Waira, and many others. We have the academic community, and I think this is important because if you think about it, many of the most successful startups today in legal tech were created at universities, whether it is Stanford Codex, whether it is the University of Toronto. All these are coming from universities. So universities have the capacity, if they really push for it, to become hubs for that very, very early innovation in the field, which is what universities should be doing. And then, of course, we have also agreements with some strong media groups so that all the great ideas that are being presented here are disseminated throughout the world, so that the participants and the finalists and the winners get exposure, which is very often one of the key elements they need to access more funding, to access more opportunities. So this was Turin we have a good participation, but I can tell you here that the level of innovation in legal tech in Italy is much lower than in São Paulo. So we are incredibly happy to be here, where we have had more than 50 applications, and we have selected 6 startups that today will make the pitches. We have a wonderful agenda. We have a wonderful agenda close also for London, so watch that space, because also the winner of London will be a very strong competitor for the final. And we are also thinking in how to take this forward beyond, obviously, celebrating the 3rd edition of the Global Legal Tech Venture Days. We want, through the League, to create a very dynamic, very interactive Global Legal Tech Venture Map that allows everyone involved to see, to take the temperature to this area that is growing so phenomenally. And what I would ask you is that you all keep involved in this project, that you all follow this project, because I'm sure that great things will come from all the effort that is being put here to help these entrepreneurs to reach new heights. All these law schools are extremely grateful for this opportunity. We are at iLaw School are extremely grateful, because we also know that from your talent, from your ideas, we will improve ourselves, our curriculum, our faculty, our collaborations with industry, and we will become better law schools as well. So thank you so much for being here, and I wish that you enjoy a lot this Venture Day, that you enjoy a lot the pitches, and that you will follow and become members, friends of this initiative in years to come. Thank you so much, and that's it.
Boa noite a todos e a todas. Como meu professor Oscar Vilhena quebrou o protocolo, eu também vou tomar a liberdade de quebrar aqui o protocolo e, inicialmente, gostaria de fazer uma saudação ao professor Oscar Vilhena, diretor da Fundação Getúlio Vargas. Efetivamente, a Faculdade de Direito da GV exerce hoje, no cenário jurídico mundial, um protagonismo que precisa ser respeitado, observado e copiado, professor. Posso dizer, para quem acompanha e está, né, atento, e a gente, por força da posição que nós ocupamos à frente da Associação dos Advogados de São Paulo, que tem 82 mil advogados associados no Brasil todo, nós viajamos o Brasil como um todo e visitamos faculdades e vemos, e todos sabem, né, o que o Brasil passa em termos de qualidade do ensino jurídico. Então, a GV realmente hoje é um modelo e precisa ser copiada. Tudo que é bom precisa ser copiado. Gostaria de saudar o professor Javier, dizer que para nós da ASP é um motivo de muito orgulho e muita honra estar aqui patrocinando este evento. Eu acho que é um evento, né, a Legaltech Venture Day, realizado em outros países do mundo, e vindo a São Paulo mostra a importância do nosso país, como foi colocado agora pelo professor Javier. São Paulo efetivamente está, e o Brasil também, no radar das Legaltechs, e aqui nós temos pessoas com muita criatividade, com muita disposição de inovar. E eu acho que precisamos abrir o espaço para que essas pessoas mostrem o seu trabalho e, acima de tudo, consigam, né, chegar num plano, quem sabe, mundial. Por que não? Acho que o Brasil efetivamente tem esse potencial. Nós somos, né, um celeiro aqui de questões jurídicas, de problemas, e que fazem dos operadores as pessoas que têm, né, a necessidade de criar para conseguir sobreviver no mercado jurídico. Gostaria também de fazer um agradecimento aqui, né, à professora Marina e ao professor Alexandre, que hoje lideram aqui como coordenadores do CEP e da Fundação Getúlio Vargas também, dizer que contem com a ASP. A ASP é, né, uma entidade, como eu disse, com hoje 82 mil advogados no Brasil todo, atento a todas essas inovações. E o que nós, né, da ASP, temos e estamos atentos ao impacto da tecnologia no dia a dia. É claro que nós estamos falando aqui no ambiente de uma universidade, e, acima de tudo, a importância de termos eventos como esse nascendo, né, por iniciativas no meio acadêmico é importantíssimo. Mas, acima de tudo, olharmos, né, para essas iniciativas e tentarmos, de alguma maneira, atrair para dentro da nossa entidade, porque hoje, né, a comunidade jurídica, os advogados e advogadas, realmente passam por um processo de se reinventar, vamos chamar assim. Por quê? Porque a forma como, né, o direito, e o professor Oscar foi muito feliz na fala dele, a forma como o direito, né, é interpretado, é analisado, ele vai ter que ser agora colocado por essa perspectiva das outras ciências e principalmente da tecnologia. O advogado que não souber, advogado ou advogada que não souber usar a tecnologia a seu favor, não vai conseguir sobreviver no mercado que é extremamente competitivo. E aqui entra um pouco o papel da ASP. A ASP nasceu em 1943 e todo mundo acho que vai lembrar muito por conta das intimações. A ASP foi a precursora e criou o serviço de intimações, que era uma forma de facilitar o exercício da atividade do advogado. E, acima de tudo, por força da qualidade desse serviço, ela se notabilizou no âmbito nacional. E, acima disso, de tudo, a respeito dos serviços que são prestados, a ASP, ao longo dos seus 76 anos de existência, está atenta a essas mudanças. E a gente pode dizer que, há 5 anos atrás, nós criamos na ASP uma área específica de inovação. Há 5 anos é que a ASP já faz esse trabalho internamente de avaliar de que maneira os processos tecnológicos vão impactar o dia a dia da atividade do profissional. E a gente compartilha isso com os nossos associados, por meio de cursos, por meio de iniciativas nas quais o advogado precisa entender e estar preparado para essa nova realidade. E, acima de tudo, quando a gente coloca para os advogados que já estão com um maior tempo de formado a questão do processo eletrônico, a realidade, isso, né, aconteceu há praticamente 10 anos atrás, foi um choque da realidade do advogado que não sabia e tinha um receio de que não conseguiria trabalhar nessa nova realidade. E a ASP estava ali, ao lado desses advogados associados, ensinando eles, e hoje eles já conseguem peticionar e já estão familiarizados com o processo eletrônico. Então, as novas tecnologias estão surgindo e, a partir disso, vamos preparar e vamos, juntos, né, auxiliar os advogados e advogadas no exercício da sua atividade, que é, no final do dia, a missão institucional da ASP. A ASP também criou, e já está na sua 3ª edição, do Hackathon. O Hackathon, no ano passado, nós tratamos do impacto da blockchain no exercício da atividade da advocacia. Então, os grupos foram criados, chegaram na sexta-feira lá na sede da ASP, ficaram até domingo, e no final desse resultado, eles apresentaram projetos interessantes, né? E este ano, né, o nosso Hackathon vai acontecer em 30 de novembro, 1º e 2 de dezembro, ele vai tratar do impacto do ensino, de que forma a tecnologia vai trazer para o ensino uma ferramenta apta a se trabalhar essa nova realidade. Então, o desafio vai estar lançado, já está lançado, aí, as inscrições estão abertas, e esperamos que todos, aqueles que tenham interesse, se inscrevam e participem desse hackathon, que já é uma realidade. Nós também criamos as missões ao Vale do Silício. A ASP já levou 2 grupos de advogados, né, para o Vale do Silício, para conhecer de perto, né, as inovações, as empresas, os escritórios de advocacia que já estão, né, com essa questão da tecnologia muito mais avançados do que nós, para entender, né, e, de alguma forma, extrair dessa viagem algo que possa ser frutífero, de novo, para o exercício da sua atividade. Eu gostaria de pedir, apenas para passar um filme que nós preparamos em relação à última edição do Hackathon, que mostra um pouco desse ambiente, né? E da importância de termos eventos como esse, no qual os empreendedores e as pessoas que estão pensando, né, em apresentar as novas tecnologias e soluções, né, que possam facilitar a vida do advogado, elas são muito bem-vindas e precisam ser incentivadas. E é por isso que a ASP é uma entusiasta de eventos como esse, e dizer que para nós é motivo de muito orgulho e satisfação estarmos aqui nessa noite, ao lado da Fundação, né, Getúlio Vargas, ao lado da IE, do Javier, e agradecer mais uma vez e dizer, contem conosco, e sigam a ASP, acompanham a ASP, e de alguma maneira venham para a ASP, se associem à ASP, aqueles que não são, mas a gente acredita que a grande maioria aqui já são associados, porque é importante, em momentos, né, em que nós vivemos hoje, né, no Brasil, e aí é uma questão até mundial, a importância do associativismo, de você ter entidades fortes, representativas, principalmente da advocacia, é muito salutar para a manutenção do nosso Estado democrático de direito. Agradecer mais uma vez a presença de todos, muito obrigado, e espero que vocês gostem do vídeo aí.
A competição está marcada no DNA da psicologia humana. Esse tipo de evento procura fazer da competição algo muito mais positivo.
Primeiramente, bem-vindos ao Hackathon da ASP.
Para a ASP é um prazer abrir as portas da sua casa, da sua nova casa, aqui no Santos Augusta, dizer que todos eles vão ter uma oportunidade ímpar de um tema extremamente desafiador, que é o blockchain.
Então a gente uniu o pessoal do direito com o assunto de blockchain, que até dentro da comunidade de desenvolvedores ainda é algo muito desconhecido, e trazer isso para dentro da advocacia está sendo incrível.
O legal do Hackathon é isso, é a gente pensar soluções que possam desenvolver o direito, ou desenvolver o escopo pretendido pelo Hackathon com propósito e para impactar a sociedade de alguma forma positiva.
Posso dizer com toda certeza que isso aqui é uma incubadora dessa experiência real que as pessoas passam no dia a dia de evolução de uma solução.
Eu estou participando no Hackathon pela primeira vez aqui na ASP, no prédio novo. Eu estou muito feliz por essa experiência, está sendo extremamente desafiador para mim.
Eu vim cheio de expectativas e com muito medo também, e acabei vendo um espetáculo de organização, de atenção, de orientação.
E eu mal posso esperar para participar de outros, porque está sendo um vício muito fantástico de fazer parte de hackathons.
Se joguem neles, acreditem no processo, que mesmo que você não ganhe, toda vez que vai nos céus prêmios eu já falo que eu já ganhei, porque eu já conheci muitas pessoas legais, consegui aplicar uma metodologia diferente, inovadora, e fiz amigos que eu vou levar para a vida inteira.
E parabenizo a ASP por essa visão inovadora que sempre teve e que continuará tendo nessa nova advocacia digital, que demanda cada vez mais que a gente crie talentos para lidar com a informação desapegada do papel.
As soluções apresentadas foram muito legais. Elas são em blockchain, que é uma paixão pessoal minha. A gente viu smart contracts, a gente viu criptografia ponta a ponta, a gente viu busca de dados inteligente, assim, são soluções fantásticas que a gente espera que a ASP consiga desenvolver um produto e leve para vocês em breve.
Thank you very much, Renato. I'd like to thank, in the name of SERIA, I would like to thank ASP, the Attorneys Association São Paulo, yet again, for the sponsoring of this great conference. And thank you all, the speakers who just gave us such warm words and such great insights. Before we proceed to our first discussion panel, I would like to invite you all to give a very warm welcome to Guillermo Miranda, who is the legal head of Lucius Report and the winner of Global Tech Legal Tech Venture Day 2018.
Hello, I'm very pleased to be here. I'm Guillermo Miranda, and our first venture is Lucius Report. I just want to talk about my ventures for you to understand what we did, and this is the one that we presented in the Legaltech Venture Days last year in Madrid, and talk about that and my experience in the Global Legal Tech Venture Days. First of all, our idea came from a compliance-related venture. As you may know from Mexico context, we are leading in corruption schemes worldwide, so we had to do something about that. We enacted a new law, a big set of laws, which is called the Mexican National Anti-Corruption System, which included many guidelines from the US FCPA, the anti-corruption law in the United States, and the Bribery Act, which are two of the most important compliance laws in the world. So these laws required for Mexican and any company doing business in Mexico the requirement of due diligence reports and background checks of their third-party intermediaries. So in this early stage in Mexico of the legal tech, we started doing an effort in combining technology and law. In the market, we couldn't find a legal due diligence supplier which was reliable, efficient, and with a local focus. The competitors were mainly multinational corporates and advisors. There was not even a 24/7 monitoring services available. If you needed more information or to update early information, you should ask and pay for another report. And usually these reports represent major expense in a company, and you usually don't get what you pay for. So that's how was born Lucius. We are a legal tech tool that generate due diligence reports, combining algorithms and the legal expertise of qualified lawyers, and we deliver a comprehensive, relevant, and easy to grasp report. This is our main stages of the process. First, we have scraping algorithms that extract information from the largest amount of publicly available sources in Mexico and in the world in record time. This information then is reviewed by a team of trained lawyers, and in this stage is very important because we can rule out homonyms that are very common in Mexico, and also false positives. So this is like a review that the client also doesn't have to do after he receives the report. And then after we deliver the report, every report includes a 24/7 monitoring services, so if new information comes out, we can communicate right away to the client. This is our biggest report, but in our pipeline there is a smaller report which is fully automated without the review of humans. This would be very interesting for companies that need to do a not thorough due diligence, but only for the important sources like Blacklist or the Treasury of the United States sanctions list and all. This will be in a corporate dashboard and using an app. We made also a report specially made for the leasing market to understand who is going to rent your house before. And we do a lot of efforts in the e-learning. In corporations that need training courses in compliance and anti-money laundering, we are supplying also this type of certifications. We launched our second startup this year in the summer of 2019. This is relating to anti-money laundering. I'll just explain the law very easy for you. There's a law in Mexico that defines some business transactions as vulnerable activities. These are real estate, cars and jewelry transactions mainly, but also banking activities and some professional services as notary publics or even lawyers. The law requires for these activities an elaboration of a KYC of your client, the screening of such client in blacklists, collecting documents and storing them for an amount of time. This process is tedious, and the most important thing is that it is new to the vast majority of the subjects involved, so they don't know how to comply with the law. For this, we coded a tool which is called Scene. This turns this process into a simpler, faster, and user-friendly process and encrypts the information, and we can store it in the cloud for you, so you don't have to worry for the time you are supposed to keep the information. This information is made into a package and XML, and we send it to the taxing authority in Mexico in much less time, effort, and is also cheaper for the client. We're very active in the entrepreneurial and environment in Mexico. We attended Collision Conference in New Orleans. We were selected in Stanford Go-to-Market in Mexico City to take a course, and then we were present in the Future of Law Conference in Stanford campus as well. And well, as you may know, we won the Legaltech Venture Days last year in Madrid. Just a few notes about my experience. Javier was more thorough about the Legaltech Venture Days. The first round in Latin America in last year was in Mexico City. We won there in ITAM. And then we could participate in the final round in Madrid with competitors from the US and Asia. And we won as well. As winners, we got an entrepreneurship course in the IE Business School, which was amazing. It was very interesting because we could connect and get to know other winners of the Venture Days from other type of ventures like tourism and education, which was great. And then we attended South Summit as well last year in the IE stage, and we could pitch our idea there as well. It was amazing. The connections and the teachers we met was awesome. And just a few takeaways for you as an entrepreneur. I think you should never underestimate the power of networking. Be very active at LinkedIn, emailing whatever person you want to meet for a coffee, to chat, to stay in the events, and to take any opportunity you can in the ecosystem. In Mexico, we're really in an early stage of legal tech, but there are big events that are starting to grow, and associations and more contests like this, but we are like experiencing a boom right now, but not a very high growth still. So for the participants of today, boa sorte. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Guillermo, for this really great keynote speech for our conference. I would now, following on to our schedule, I'd like to invite to compose our first discussion panel, which is named "What is the Future of Legal Professions in the Artificial Intelligence Era?" First, for moderator, Professor Marina Pfefferbaum, who is coordinator of the Center for Education Research and Innovation here at FGV, and also my boss. As for our panelists, I'd like to invite Mr. Renato Mandalici, which is founder and CEO of Think Solutions. And Ms. Giselle Bueno, co-founder of High Law Consult and co-organizer of Curitiba Legal Hackers.
Bom, boa noite a todos, a todas. Como foi muito falado aqui, a gente está realmente embebido de tanta alegria por esse momento que foi muito trabalhoso até chegar aqui. Por isso eu queria começar primeiro abrindo para agradecer duas pessoas que foram fundamentais nesse evento, que é a Ana Carolina e o Bruno, que são nossos pesquisadores aqui da escola, que tiveram cuidado em cada detalhe, em cada momento da preparação. Então, muito, muito, muito obrigada a vocês. Bom, queria dar as boas-vindas aqui aos amigos Renato, Gisele, e é uma alegria estar numa mesa, moderar uma mesa com pessoas tão disruptivas, vamos dizer assim, que têm dado tanto empenho para essa comunidade, inovando tanto, trazendo soluções aí com ideias empreendedoras e brilhantes. Bom, eu vou começar aqui com o Renato, que é o head aí da Fint Inovações, tem sido um parceiro aqui da escola, tem nos ensinado muito sobre como inovar, como a academia precisa refletir sobre isso, parceiro em várias disciplinas, nas soluções com os alunos, temos alunos aqui que já participaram desses experimentos para montar chatbot, enfim, fizemos uma imersão que pudemos conhecer Bauru em profundidade. Então, eu agradeço muito a parceria e hoje ele vai contar aqui um pouco de como tem sido essa inovação e o mercado. Obrigada, viu, Renato?
Muito obrigado, Marina.
Vamos atender.
Você quer que eu vá aí? Ok.
Figura. É engraçado.
Bom, eu tinha me preparado para falar inglês e eu só tenho receio de falar em português e passar do tempo. Então, mas como o tempo está aqui, eu vou me manter a ele, tá? Bom, em primeiro lugar, é um prazer muito grande ter sido convidado para participar desse evento. Queria agradecer a FGV, a GVLO, professor Oscar, Marina, Alexandre, muito obrigado pelo convite. É sempre uma honra dividir com vocês, aprender com vocês e principalmente com essa plateia maravilhosa que nós temos aqui. Para vocês é fácil falar, tá? O duro é falar para as pessoas que não estão aqui, né? E isso para mim é o mais complicado. Mas o que eu vou falar para vocês hoje, basicamente, é como a complexidade do sistema jurídico brasileiro acabou criando, vou contar um pouco a nossa história, mas acabou criando um grande escritório de advocacia especializado em contencioso de massa. Eu posso falar inglês? Não, eu sei. Tudo bem. Bom, então eu vou falar inglês.
É uma opção ou é o...
Okay, so I am pedido. Okay, the plan today is to show you how the Brazil's complex legal environment gave rise to both a large law firm that specialized in mass litigation and a tech-enabled service company that specialized in the legal market. So for starters, let's take a look at some numbers that describes the Brazil's justice system, okay? So the number that calls my attention, at least my attention here, is the cost that all Brazilian taxpayers pay for the Brazil's justice system. It's 93.7 billion reais, okay, which is, I think it's larger than Estonia's entire GDP, okay? So, the complexity of the system has deeply impacted the management of both law firms and legal departments. So a little bit of history. In 2008, after spending 17 years as an associate attorney and a partner at a major law firm, I decided to start a new law firm along another partner of this major law firm that would be the first explicitly specializing law firm in mass litigation management. And this is JBM. Okay? So to create JBM, we partnered with another law firm called Mendelici Advogados, which provided us with the initial resources. Soon in 2009, JBM was the largest law firm in terms of number of lawyers in Brazil. Together, these two law firms had over 1,000 attorneys, 480 people in the back office, and 70 people in the IT department, okay? However, JBM had an unsustainable cost structure. Why? Because the vast majority of the attorneys were employees at the firm. We then quickly realized that the only way we would lower our costs and become more competitive was by changing the processes, the internal process of the law firm, and introducing innovation and technology. And so we did. So that's a little bit of what we did. In 2008, we created flows and processes. In 2010, we create the first bot, the first automation solutions. This is all internally, okay, to deal with the lawsuits that we had. In 2011, we create our first document assembly tool. 2012, we started investing in artificial intelligence. And by 2013, we had our first artificial intelligence system that applied to the legal market. So, a good example of introducing new technology was transforming the way the attorneys worked. They used to be organized in JBM into cells that were fully dedicated to working with each of the firm's clients. We changed that cell type of work to a sort of conveyor belt or assembly line where the main focus became the activity rather than the client. I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm pretty sure that you guys must understand. In short, we broke down legal services in order to provide them more efficiently. Here are some few conveyor belts, okay? So we have a conveyor belt to treat new lawsuits, another one to motion filing. So we have attorneys just taking care of the new lawsuits, bots acquire new lawsuits, and then we have attorneys treating with the data, dealing with the data coming from new lawsuits. Another conveyor belt that treats only obligations and injunctions and so forth. The conveyor belt concept saved us or resulted in more than 35% in savings. And now JBM can manage nearly 280,000 lawsuits with fewer than 240 attorneys. Remember, we had more than 1,000 attorneys. With all the automation, innovation, technology, especially due to these conveyor belts, we could decrease the number of attorneys and make them to work more efficiently. Finch came into being in 2013 as the result of the spinning off of the back office and technology divisions of JBM. What we did is basically we transfer all the tech assets that we had at JBM and Mendelich Advogados. We transfer all the tech assets and the people that supported operations to Finch, and that took place in 2013. Finch basically provides back office solutions to both corporate legal departments and law firms. Let's take a look at Finch by the numbers. So here are some numbers of Finch. I don't know whether you can see from back there, but we deal nowadays with more than 1 million lawsuits. We have them registered in our system. We basically handle on a monthly basis more than 8,000 hearings, and another number here, we process 2.5 million extrajudicial notifications. Okay? So this is a big BPO and technology working together. From a business concept standpoint, Finch uses technology as a means of providing services designed to increase the efficiency of a wide array of business processes. Okay, so we provide services to increase the efficiency of business processes of companies in general. That's what we do, basically. And I must say, despite what some people say, considering state-of-the-art automation and artificial intelligence, we firmly believe that the most effective way of increasing business process efficiency is through the right association between machine and mind, or in other words, between machine and people. We don't take people out of the equation. We don't think people will be left or will be put out of the equation soon. At least, I think, as long as I'm living here, I don't think I'll see all the machines do all the works that the attorneys do, okay? So, here is a good example of such an association. This is our platform, which basically resembles the way a corporate legal department deals with its lawsuits and claims. So you see here, I don't know, you can read, it's really small letters, but this is, we have the acquisition of new lawsuits, just a quick example. We have bots that acquire new lawsuits, acquire the data related to new lawsuits, and then we have this process through this entire platform. Then we have a machine that registered the lawsuits, all the data related to the lawsuit. We have the machine registering it. For example, if the lawsuit is not an online lawsuit, we have more than 12,000 correspondent lawyers that go over the country in more than 5,000 cities to acquire this information in paper, for example. And as you can see here, we have the registration conveyor belt, because sometimes the artificial intelligence is not able to read all the information contained in a particular lawsuit. So we have people that work together with the machine in order to fulfill the entire registration. Okay, in another situation where we have people working with the machine is the hearing and publications conveyor belt. What do? We have the hearing draft, we have the publications from the lawsuits, and then the machine reads all of them, and it identifies what are the measures or the measure that is contained in that particular hearing draft or in that particular publication. If the machine is not capable or not able to identify right away the measure that has to be taken by our client, we have a conveyor belt composed of lawyers that will read the hearing draft or publication and identify by themselves the measure. That's how I see people and machine working together, okay? So, I will show you now, to finish up, a very short video that shows our system. It's a tool, the registration tool, working by itself, just making the registering a legal document. This tool has been in place, has been used by a major Brazilian bank since 2015. So what you see in this video, you see a legal document, and the machine will gradually identify each entity in that particular document. In order, the entity that is identified according to the client's business rule. So once the machine learn how to extract a particular piece of information from a specific type of document, it does it automatically. In this case, there's no need to any lawyer, to any person interact with the machine, okay? So I'll show you this quick video right away.
Our train platform identifies the document and other relevant information with the help of our artificial intelligence system. Relevant information can be viewed on the carousel just above the document. The color markings are information that our system has already identified. If any information is not automatically identified, our project has a manual marking system, and these manual markings are learned by our artificial intelligence system, thus gradually improving its accuracy. Some information may not be explicit, which means they are based on interpretation. Nonetheless, our algorithms can identify them as well. A good example is the document type information, that in this case was identified as hearing by our system.
Better, so because of the time, right? So that's our first case that we implemented artificial intelligence in the legal market. This is a tool that we created in 2015, as I told you before. And other tools we have created other tools, but I think this one illustrates how the machine can do the repetitive work that all of us are tired of doing, right? So that's my speech. That's what I had to do, and I'm here to talk to you afterwards. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Renato, for the wonderful speech. Our students gave Renato a nickname, I must say, Steve Jobs from Bauru, so it was great to hear you. Now I would like to call Gisele Bueno. She has been around Brazil doing a lot of work on design, legal solutions from a lot of different places, and she will share with us all her experience. Thank you very much.
Hello guys, good evening. First of all, I'd like to say thank Ana and Marina for inviting me. And it's a big challenge in explain about legal tech market after Renato, after a lot of numbers and a big presentation. Congratulations, Renato. My plan tonight is tell you some lessons from my journey in legal tech market. I'm Gisele Bueno, founder at High Law. I'm from Curitiba, and I tell you a little bit about this experience with digital transformation for lawyers in legal departments and law firms. Every day, I can face some challenges, and this is a big challenge for me, I think. I've been a lawyer for over 12 years, and I work in different companies in Paraná. And in a few years, as a corporate lawyer, I was contract manager in a big educational group. And however, in 2013, I started to work with innovation, specific open innovation in an institute. And my job was to find companies that needed develop research. With this, I started work with open innovation and became interested about technology, especially how these kind of technologies, disruptive technologies, can be help my activities as a lawyer. But it was the beginning in 2013. And in 2017, I decided to go to Silicon Valley to research the legal tech market there. When I got there, I was surprised because I couldn't find any lawyers there. Any lawyers, especially Brazilian lawyers. 2017 is 2 years ago. But even this, my first idea is maybe I can connect someone from Brazil and understand this market. And I connect a guy from that works at Startse. Do you know Startse? A Brazilian company, innovation company. And he told me, sorry, I could help you. I couldn't help you because I've never seen other lawyers here do what do you do? So I think I'm lost here in the Silicon Valley. And the place, I don't know if you visit San Francisco, but the place, the first impression for me is the social problems in the city, a lot of homeless, and without any no faces. And oh my gosh, I'm lost here. I don't know everybody. And okay, the second initiative, when I tried to connect a guy from Curitiba that work at Apple as a lawyer too, and I called him and he said me, I've just moved to Asia, China specifically. Oh, okay, China, nice. It's too far from here. And okay, I was really lost. And I had to create my own path. Now I have a lot of friends there. But what's the most important thing that I learned with these situations? First, to try to find yourself. Because a long time there, lost, totally lost. And wow, and I keep going to do my proposal. Actually, I was impressive because everybody embraced the innovation and is open to collaborating, including me, collaborate with anyone. And this mindset from Silicon Valley has a huge impact on my personal values now. They have a particular way of doing things, especially because they welcome people and ideas from different countries, cultures, and backgrounds. And there's no fear of sharing ideas and totally different from us. I recognize this. It is all about collaborative work. The lessons that I learned during my stay are still essential nowadays for my job with digital transformation, especially for lawyers. At that time, they were already using disruptive technologies, such as blockchain and artificial intelligence. But the keys to deliver the better legal services are the combination of skills and open mindset, more than just implementing technology. In summary, the Silicon Valley lesson is we should focus more on people and skills than a simply technology. We only recently started discussing these issues in Brazil. Focus on people and skills. Around 2 years ago, I started my own company called High Law and providing innovation solutions for lawyers and digital transformation way. I've been consulting for many legal departments and law firms implementing innovation. It's a hard work. First, because we need to convince people that skill development is important as implementing technology. I've noticed some confusion, because technology or culture, implementing technology or changing the mindset. Both way together, and basically, it's essential that lawyers become more collaborative. It seems obvious, but in many cases, I can see a big distance between lawyers and other professionals. We are not self-sufficient, guys. Sorry to say that. And we need to recognize this. Lawyers know pretty much everything, but not really. In my job of introducing innovation, we use some methods and are common in IT projects, such as Agile, Scrum, and design thinking. It's important to put these methodologies in legal contexts, especially because we need to find legal solutions, not IT-only solutions. Of course, we need to use tech to improve the delivery of our legal services. More and more, we need to do more with less, and tech can help us with this. In this context, I use legal design thinking, or Sprint, for example, as a way to find simple solutions for complex problems. More and more, we are using design to make solutions that are more usable and engaging. Design can bring different perspectives to legal problems, and we need to work with professionals from different backgrounds, from different areas. Currently, I'm working in a project where we need to organize a whole legal department, including creating a coordination of legal operations with technology, financial management, business intelligence, and human resources together in the same department. In this case, we focus on data-driven culture and analytics tools to help legal delivery. In law firms, the first job always is convince the partners what innovation is and what ROI can you bring. The investment plan is not easy to discuss with partners in law firms. On the other hand, legal departments are moving towards using more paralegal than technical lawyers and structuring legal operations parts. Legal design is essential to transforming this mindset of this kind of lawyers specifically. I always say that legal design or design thinking is not only about creativity. We need to focus to create a result for real things. There is no miracle. We have a lot of hard work ahead of us in the process of improving legal services. It's not easy to change mindset, methodologies, process, and tools. In the name of improving legal services, we should encourage researching, prototyping, and interacting more with our clients, especially focus on user experience. Another piece of advice that I can give you is that you join international communities. These movements can help create opportunities and facilitate the exchange of knowledge regarding the best practices in the legal industry. I'm be a part of Open Innovation Brazil, which is a movement that provides discussion about how to implement open innovation in different scenarios. We have rich exchanges about technology and innovation in big companies. Of course, I can't forget to mention Legal Hackers, a global community that has over 140 chapters around the world, including São Paulo. In Brazil, we are already 10 chapters. It's a pleasure to be part of this truth community, with a lot of people that are reference for me. If you have an interest to join the São Paulo Legal Hackers, for example, I recommend that you're looking for Victor, is here. Hi. Victor or Ana. Our role is always looking for the best ways to improve our legal system, bring together law, tech, and design. 2 weeks ago, I participated in a couple of events at Harvard and Legal Hackers Summit in New York. We were discussing about open justice, legal services using platforms, privacy by design, public policy, among others. Apps and softwares is general and are the future of legal service delivery. Open data, tech policy, GovTechs, holographic presence in courts, and new wave of ODR, and especially open source. Software's open source. It's impressive how they create platforms to collaborate in an open way, including artificial intelligence, program, for example, AI for All. I recommend that you check. In conclusion, we always need to look for knowledge and develop new skills that can help us better deal with digital transformation and innovation a broader sense. This is my contribution tonight. I'd like 2 minutes. I'd like two more minutes to show my video. Can I?
Pode colocar. Aqui, esse aqui.
As novas tecnologias
Oh, I'm very sorry. Excuse me.
têm transformado a forma como nos relacionamos, inclusive no mercado jurídico. A Hiló tem muito orgulho de ser pioneira nesse processo de transformação digital. A Hiló faz todo o mapeamento da real necessidade de implantação de tecnologia no nosso cliente. Primeiro, a gente tem que avaliar qual é a maturidade tecnológica do departamento jurídico ou do escritório, para então sugerir novas ferramentas. Nós oferecemos todos os programas de inovação, tanto para a liderança quanto para a implantação de tecnologia, trabalhando com Legal Innovation e com Legal Design.
O treinamento foi muito bacana, tem tudo a ver com o movimento do PG, olhando a questão de mudança de mindset, de empatia, de criatividade, de skills que nós advogados temos que ter para entender o negócio e atuar junto com os clientes.
Quer repensar o way of work, como a gente trabalha, quais são os métodos que a gente usa, o que a gente faz, as tarefas, a sequência de trabalho, a consequência do início, meio e fim desse trabalho e redesenhar ele com as inovações de tecnologia que a gente tem hoje.
Imagina você implementar um chatbot para diminuir o número de consultas para o seu departamento jurídico. Esse tipo de solução é que é desenvolvida e é resultado de um workshop de Legal Design.
Nos permite também abrir a cabeça para tentar usar a criatividade na solução de problemas, soluções alternativas num mundo que vem mudando numa velocidade rápida e tornar um escritório atraente para os melhores talentos.
Legal Design faz com que você torne o seu relacionamento mais parceiro, mais leve, mais efetivo, porque no final do dia nós temos que dar esse resultado e o cliente espera isso de nós, falando a linguagem dele.
Um exercício diário, um exercício constante, que a gente tem que estar repensando o que a gente faz, como a gente faz, o porquê e o que entrega de mais resultado.
Sem isso, nós não conseguimos acompanhar o mercado e por isso que isso é primordial e hoje é uma prática essencial para que a gente alcance aí o sucesso e novos clientes.
O conhecimento técnico do advogado vai ser sempre a parte essencial do legal design, mas quando o advogado percebe que ele consegue associar isso com outras ferramentas, com outras metodologias e também com outros profissionais, ele percebe que o potencial de atuação expande de maneira exponencial até, né?
No futuro, o advogado tem que estar ainda mais antenado com as novas tecnologias e inovações. Nós estamos juntos nesse processo com a High Law.
Thank you very much, Gisele, and thank you very much, Renato. It has been really great to hear from each of you about your experiences in this growing and thriving legal market, and on the challenges that you had with innovation and selling innovative products and services to legal market. And of course, Professor Marina Pfefferbaum, from which we could hear more about the state-of-the-art research on law, legal professions, and innovations. It has been a real privilege to have this before our competition. So, following up on our schedule tonight, we can start with the actual start of competition for the Global Legaltech Venture Day 2019. We have here 6 finalists selected among 55 legal techs that applied for Venture Day, and each of these 6 finalists will do their own pitches for the specialists of our jury commission. Before we begin with the actual competition, we would like to invite to the stage some of our partners, which have had each of them have had a key part in planning and making this event possible. So I would like to invite Mr. Eric Nebo from Idevo, Mr. Alexandre Zavalha from Future Law, and Mr. Matheus Bombig from AB2L, the Brazilian Association for Law Techs and Legal Techs. I almost forgot. ASP is represented here by its president Renato Huri, who has already spoken, and also by Jonathan Nelson, who will be part of our jury commission. Idevo is represented here by Eric Nebo, its founder, who will also be part of our jury commission. And São Paulo Legal Hackers is here represented by Ana Carolina Rodrigues, a researcher at SERI, who has led the organization of Venture Day São Paulo. So let's hear for them as well.
Good evening, everyone. So we just want to participate in this very important international event. to encourage innovation and to use technology to solve legal problems. And we want to congrats FGV, Alexandre Pacheco and Marina. You know that we are huge fans of your job here and our friends from Madrid and the select startups. And I just want to say a few words about 4 big themes in 2019, according to the Artificial Lawyer website survey. The first one is platformization. So how we build environments to connect big companies and startups, such as ERP systems, and it's a big tendency. And the second is the continuing proliferation of legal techs in the whole world. The third is incubation and acceleration to growth. And the fourth, which is the best one for me, is law techs as law firms as a tech producers. So we are studying and talking about that for the last years, and we already know, and we knew that that the technology just not work without the legal professional. They know how to develop this kind of technology, these tools, and how to structure data and how to use this data as information. So it's this multidisciplinary teams that it's working and that's building this, such as these tools. So we are here in the ideal environment to connect knowledge, market, and technology. So we just wish best luck for the selected startups, and let's start. Thank you very much.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. I also want to thank Marina and Alexandre Pacheco and every other member of the organization here of this evening. I am the founder of EDEVO, which is a school for innovation today for enterprises and also lawyers. And we've been dealing with a lot of different technologies and the skills that were mentioned that are needed today and for the future. And we are very pleasured to be here and to see as many lawyers and other professionals here interested in this field, because we really believe that this is the future, and we've been seeing that a lot of new technologies and new features have been developed in the last years within law. And this is not important only for lawyers, but for programmers, developers, and business people too. So I want to welcome you all and wish good luck to all of the contestants today.
Hi everyone, my name is Matheus Bombig. I'm one of the founders and board members of AB2L, and since I'm an engineer, so I will talk a lot less than the lawyers. I'll talk a little story here, short story about the connections. Well, besides being an engineer, I'm also a law tech firm, a legal tech founder, and it was founded maybe 4 years ago. And at that time, it was very difficult to sell technology to lawyers. And imagine an engineer trying to do that. Since today, we have a lot of distrust in technology in legal environment. 5 years ago, it was much higher. But at that time, I used it to attend some startup events so I could try to enhance my skills. And at that time, I think I was the only crazy guy trying to sell to lawyers. And one of these events, I was talking with another guy, and what do you do? Well, I have a law tech. I sell to other lawyers. So I'm not the only crazy here. We have a lot of other crazies in this world. So let's keep in touch. So what we did, the famous WhatsApp group. So he created a WhatsApp group. He started to join every guy that we could find that was another law tech, a legal tech founder, some lawyers who was more in touch with technology. And at that time, that group grew so much that one day we started, oh, why don't we like to transform this in an institution? So at that time, we created the AB2L, Associação Brasileira de Lawtechs e Legaltechs. At the time we started, it was like 30, 35 legal techs, and 2 years from them, we now have more than 140 legal techs in our board. And beside legal techs, we also have the early stage. There is legal techs that do not have its product with market fit. We have a lot of law firms, Department of Industry, and a lot of lawyers who are with the technology, tech environment. So if I could give you a piece of advice, the connections, we should not never throw away. We can make trust and build communities that make things much more easier. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexandre, Eric, and Mateus. Now, without any more delays, I would like to invite all of the members of the jury commission to sit on the front row, and so they can watch for the piece of all the 6 finalists. So let's hear from Mr. Johnson Nelson, Director of the ASP Innovation Department. Mr. Eric Nebo, alumni of FGV and founder of Vidivo. Gisele Ueno, founder of High Law Consult and co-organizer of Curitiba Legal Hackers. Mr. Júlio Alexandrino, partner of De Raik Menezes and Menezes Advogados and representative of Ontier, one of our international sponsors. Mr. Nacho Mateo, Chief of Investor Relations at IE Business School. And finally, Professor Javier de Sender, Dean of IE Law School. Now, without any further ado, I will call in alphabetic order each of the 6 finalists so they can make their 5-minute pitches. I will ask each of the 6 finalists to stick to their time so that we can guarantee an isonomic competition here. First, I'd like to call Mr. Raul Figueiredo from Deep Legal. Deep Legal is a smart online platform that monitors, compares, and predicts the results of portfolios of lawsuits. Mr. Figueiredo.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present to you Deep Legal today. So what we're talking about here, well, every Tuesday, a new lawsuit is filed in Brazil. Today you have around 80 million pending cases, and businesses are involved in around 80% of them. That actually is paid for everyone as a consumer, as a Brazilian, and costs the companies around $38 billion a year just in recurring fees. On top of it, you have $20 billion in reserves, right? If that wasn't enough, we say that the Brazilian law is a lottery. That means that the same result, if you get the same set of lawsuits distributed in different places, you would expect, and we see different results. The solution. Well, what if we could monitor a massive amount of lawsuits? Basically, we could monitor, if possible, every possible relevant lawsuit to understand the risks. What about if we can take this data and compare the performance of all the participants and notice which ones are the best ones and which ones are the worst? And even better, if we can use this data, this amount massive data, to predict the development and make better decisions, including how to settle and how to litigate. Well, what about if this technology would be applicable to any country and law system that has public available data? Well, we have that. It's deep legal, right? Here you can see one of simple screens of it. We have several of them, and actually we have them. Actually, our models are called the Monitor, which actually is a BI, absolute performance, jury metrics, alarms, and plus anomaly detection. We have the comparison, which use NLP technology to compare actors, and actually you can see which are your best lawyers and best competitors, and how the market behaves in your economic sectors. And third, an AI-based prediction engine. We actually uses all available data, not only your customers, not only your competitors, all data in the market, to try to predict the best outcome possible. And based on that, you can decide if you want to settle or litigate. And actually, as we speak, we are capturing data on the level of 1 million lawsuits a day. Our business model. Our market's about 40,000 businesses and 50,000 law firms. Recurrency. When you sell our solutions, the solutions are based in 3 and 12-month length on contract on a software as a basis services. Our pricing. Our minimum price is $500 to $15,000 a month. When you have that, our market share that we're projecting for next year is only 0.3%. Our lifetime value of our customers in average is $2,500. So that equals what we can say in 2012 to 2020, reach a revenue of $675,000. That is very important. We have an unbound upside component, which means we are starting to get benefit, take a share of the benefit of the gains that we provide to our customers. That means that we can have huge bumps during the trip. Just as a notice, we actually this year we are en route to actually have a revenue of about $110,000 the first years. We started, I think, in March. Success story is very important. Well, our customers in average reduce 14% the lawsuit stock. We have detected $1.3 million in fraud in one of our customers. We started about 500 lawsuits to try to recover credit, which is actually another side of our application that can be used. And most important, we started 3 programs countrywide, AI-driven settlement initiatives to actually choose which lawsuits we're going to settle, which one we're going to litigate. And that's extremely important because we have to do it in a way that we cannot and we do not incentivize the creation of more lawsuits. Some of our customers that we conquered since the beginning of the year, as you can see, all very well-known names. The little bank here, I cannot say the name, but basically is the second biggest, I think one of the second or third biggest banks in Brazil in this sector. Our competitors, that proves that the market is actually big and there's a lot of opportunities. We have similar competitors outside Brazil and inside Brazil, but we see as a little bit different because we actually use all market available, all data available. We are looking for a $1 million investment for next year, and that will be distributed most on product development, on growth hacking, and customer experience. The founders, myself, Vanessa was here, and Ricardo, with another team of brilliant people. And actually, that's it. Thank you very much.
Now, for next, I'd like to invite the representative of Juit, Mr. Euclides Neto. So let's hear from him. I'm very sorry. I just made a tiny mistake. Before we hear from the next contester, we will have some moments for the comments and constant comments from the jury members.
Yes, please.
Is this working? Obrigado. You mentioned the amount of investment you're looking for, but what is the equity stake that you're offering the investor?
Negotiate.
Okay.
Normally at this stage, because we call this supersede, right? If we wait a little bit longer, it's going to be a Series A. But at this stage, we have to negotiate between 15 or 20% of our equity.
You have a question? Hi. You mentioned you gather data from all data that is available to generate those metrics. Currently, from the courts, the main courts in Brazil, how many of them do you gather data from?
We get data from every one of them, but it's very important. We do not collect all data. We collect selected data. For example, it doesn't matter for me if it's a lawsuit between two people. Let's say the neighbor is suing someone because something fell on their garden, right? This kind of lawsuit is not interesting. What we do is, when we have a customer, we basically try to surround it with data from other competitors of the market. For example, let's say a wholesaler, let's say a supermarket chain, if a Carrefour, right? It comes to see our customers. What do? We collect Carrefour, collect Walmart, we collect all the ecosystems around it, right? And we do it in all levels, not only in state level, but also on the second and third jurisdictions. We can collect that. Okay.
Yeah, one. What about when you mentioned the competitors? You mentioned, for example, that Legal Insights and other platforms do not provide their own data. What is it that is so different from yours that when you say you have your own data and your competitors don't?
That's what I meant, because I capture, when I try to use and predict and give the value to the customer, I'm using everything I have, right? I know, of course, the competitors can change, but normally they use a smaller set of data, right? And when you do predictions, especially in Brazil, when you have 20,000 judges, 1 million lawyers, and everything else, that simply does not work. You cannot think that you can try to predict anything with so many, what we say, degrees of freedom, right? That's why it's necessary to use a model that actually is capable to literally mathematically model all the law system in Brazil. That's our vision. What we have in Deep Legal is a mathematical model of the legal system in Brazil. And we use all possible available data. If you check how AI and machine learning evolve, data is gold. You need to put in data, right? Of course, but you have to choose which data you put in. That's what I meant by choosing and being selective, what kind of data we bring in to make sure that we increase accuracy, all right? It's very easy to get to 55, 56%. But as you go up to 78, 79, every percent is exponentially more difficult than the previous percent. And that's why you have to be very careful on how you collect the data and which data you collect. Okay. Thank you.
Very well. Now we're going to hear it from Mr. Gabriel Magalhães, representative of Free Law from Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais. Free Law connects officers to lawyers and law students. I'm very sorry, everyone. We just had some technical issue. It's all right. So we, temporarily we're going to invert the order of presentations. So right now we're gonna hear from Judith, represented by Mr. Euclides Neto. Yet again, Judith is a legal tech specialized in developing software for the legal market, aiming to ease the work of lawyers and other legal actors.
Hi, my name is Euclides Neto and I am the founder of Direito, a company that was founded 11 months ago with one simple mission, that is to enable legal practitioners to make data-driven decisions every single day. And we are working on what we consider to be the biggest challenge of the legal market, which is the legal research process. So we have talked to about 100 lawyers, and we have discovered that 20% of their time is spent with legal research, poor legal research. And that is just too much time that you really can't afford to waste. So these are the numbers, this is the side of the problem. This reflects how big this problem is. And it is almost 100 million hours a year and more than $4 billion wasted in low productivity. So, I'm sorry. So this shows how gigantic the Brazilian market is, because here in Brazil, between lawyers and other legal specialists, we have one of the biggest addressable markets in the legal tech, if not the biggest one in the world. And one thing that we was scratching our mind was, how do we help all these people? So we have launched Humor, which is a hybrid platform that combines an extremely powerful search engine and also a geomatics platform. So we got both of, we got the best of both worlds, not just one. And we also have this pretty little guy who is Mr. Rui Barbosa, which you may have know who he is. He will be your personal assistant who will be inside your pocket, and he will be answering everything about law. And as you may know, he knows everything about law. So this is some numbers that we gathered so far. So we have 120 users, and among 17 B2B deals that we are evaluating our product. And some of the warming feedbacks that we are having, it's because of the how effective people can get. So this is a real case that I bring to you from one of our users. He was struggling to find a decision on law tax, I'm confusing, tax law, sorry. So, and without Humor, he was taking 4 months and counting. And after 15 minutes logging in our platform, he was able to find a decision very, very easily without even using the documents, the documentation for learning how to use the platform. So we have pretty much advantage regarding search engines and geometrics, and I have to speed up a little because I would be here all night long sitting all of them. But these are competitors. We have competitors in search engines and in geometrics, and we sit in the middle of them because we have both platforms in our service. So what makes us better than the others? We have a proprietary classifier algorithm that it's very effective, and a stunning recommender system. And this was all built with an award-winning data model that we have crafted inside our houses with some top-notch technologies, and this enables us to build a very interesting and scalable business model, which is based nowadays in 3 main revenue streams. We have subscriptions, and they are 3 plans based on the number of users and the features that you may want. We have customizations, so we can deploy white version labels of it. We have custom integrations, and we can upload your own data for the platform. And we have a soon-to-be-released legal data marketplace, where your developers will connect to our database and set data directly from our database. So what is the pricing for it? We are charging It all starts at $10 a month per month per user, and we save you tons of time and money. So it's a little investment, and you can do the math of how much time will you save. So I am the founder alongside with Marcio. Together we have almost 30 years of experience in legal technology, and we are working with that since 2008, when technology wasn't such a sexy thing that is right now. And we have some other folks in there that we are a very small team that is trying to foster innovate as faster as we can in the legal market, because we want to change that and we want to give opportunities also for investors. So we are also gathering some attention of the international tech community. We have won an award in New York City last year, and alongside with Microsoft, eBay, and Adobe, because our innovation that we are promoting in the legal sector. So if someone want to write a check for us, please talk to me here after the event. We are going to spend money, 60% of the team, 20% with marketing, 15% with operations. And I'm glad to go. Bye-bye.
Well, first of all, congratulations for the presentation. Super clear and super fast. My question is regarding I understand that you guys are in a very early stage phase, so you're now looking for the first round of investment. So imagine that tomorrow we invest 1 million in your project. Can you explain a little bit more what will be your expansion plans, or what are your main markets you want to approach after, of course, the Brazilian ecosystem?
I'm going to be really honest, we did not think of that yet, because Brazil is such a huge market, and we are concerning that right now. We need to, because we have Brazilian specialists that help us to craft new algorithms, and we need that abroad to expand. So I don't have that information. I'm really sorry. I can get back to you by midnight if you want, but I will have this information. Sorry. I hope that this isn't a deal break for you to invest.
So you were talking about the split in the investment you want to make, and you were referring to 60% people, to 15% I think operations. Yeah. Can you explain that a little bit more? So what are you missing? What are the critical elements that you're missing in terms of people of the team?
Right now we need data scientists, because we have evolved a lot with our algorithms, but we didn't apply top-notch machine learning, deep learning algorithms, and we don't want to use external sources like Google Auto Machine Learning and IBM Watson. We want to deliver our own technology based on TensorFlow and PyTorch, and we need top data scientists for it. So this is our main concern right now. They are the guys that we are looking for.
So regarding that technology you're developing, you mentioned you have a 70% accuracy. How do you measure that? How can you say to us that you have 70% accuracy?
We get a sample of 5,000 to 10,000 decisions. We get a specialist and ask for them to classify the information, and then we compare of what our algorithm has classified. And then we do that comparison, and we say, oh, okay, we got 5 more percent, 10%. So this is how we do evaluate the progress of the algorithm.
So right now we're getting ready to start with Freelaw's presentation. After I managed to skip them for one time and then lose their presentation, we're finally getting ready to start. We promise there's no foul play here, so there's nothing personal really. By the way, for each of the people who are making the presentation right here, please feel free to grab any of the mics that we have here. the wireless mics, and be comfortable to walk around and demonstrate and gesticulate and do everything that you wish to do to present your business model. It's your place, really. So, without any further ado, finally, let's hear it for Free Law, here represented by Mr. Gabriel Magalhães, from Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais.
Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be here. My name is Gabriel Magalhães and I am one of the co-founders of Free Law. We are the safest way for law firms to hire qualified on-demand lawyers. But before we start, I want to tell you a short story, the story of Dr. Evandro. He is a 35-year-old Brazilian lawyer and he's a partner of a small law firm specialized in labor law. And his routine is not easy because he has to read and review publications, schedule deadlines, hold hearings and meetings with clients. He has to draft legal documents, solve administrative and financial issues, guide his legal team, and people also say that he has to network and acquire new customers. It's hard to be in Dr. Evandro, right? He has to deal with boring clients and work on exhausting journeys often. And still, he has to decline new legal service because he doesn't have the money to hire more lawyers on a fixed basis. He doesn't know everything. He lacks of expertise and sometimes, and maybe he just doesn't have the time to do everything. And just like Dr. Evandro, 52.4% of the lawyers that we have interviewed have the same problems. And this problem also affects Dr. Marina. She recently opened her own firm and she has worked before on a company similar to Dr. Evandro's. And now she just wants to work with more freedom and flexibility and to acquire new customers and have more opportunities. But that is not easy. 60% of all autonomous lawyers have difficulties in finding new clients, and 42.5% of them want to work from home with more flexibility. And it was to help lawyers like Dr. Evandro and Dr. Marina that we created Free Law. Free Law promotes online partnerships between law firms and lawyers. With Free Law, Dr. Evandro, for example, can seek for help in Social Security law, for example, in 5 simple steps. First, he enters on our website. Second, he describes the service that needs to be executed. Third, he estimates the complexity of the service. Fourth, he chooses the deadline. And fifth, he submits the necessary documentation. And after that, it's on us. And that's where the magic happens. Our smart system finds the 5 best fit lawyers to execute the service. And this may be Dr. Marina, who has expertise in Social Security law. Both parties agree on the conditions of the service execution, and we charge a 20% fee on each legal act. And yes, we have to be honest. We have competitors on this market, and it's common to see the rise of the Tinder or Uber for lawyer every day. But most of these companies are focusing on connecting lawyers to clients or lawyers to legal departments. And in Brazil especially, we have a lot of companies that are connecting lawyers to law firms, but focusing on simple on-site tasks, such as taking photocopies. And we saw a gap on this market because none of these companies was connecting lawyers to law firms, focusing on specific tasks, such as drafting contracts. And that's where we enter. And how big is this market? Law firms spend a lot of money on the execution of legal service. And if we consider just the southeastern Brazil market, that is the one that we are currently addressing now, this market is $420 million if we consider just the fee that we charge. And if we consider the global market, this market increases to $37 billion. And who is the team behind that? It's 2 lawyers that have technical background. Me, responsible for the growth area, and Julia, who is the product manager, and she leads the developers of our team. We are just hiring two more developers, and actually we had a TTO until some weeks before. And today we are proud to say that we have happy clients, and we have executed more than 300 services with our platform. And that's us, that's Free Law. We are a bootstrap company that wants to change the way lawyers work in Brazil, in Madrid, and all around the world. And if you believe on us and you want to make that change with us, we are available for offers, and we can talk about valuation before, but that's the money that we are seeking now. Gracias.
Hello, congratulations. What's the way you check the quality or the background of the lawyers in the platform?
Thank you for the question. That's all the lawyers ask us that. First, we both are lawyers. So on the beginning, we both starting doing manual stuff to know which lawyer was the best for each case. And after that, we made like an algorithm with our experience, and we started to test. And then with 300 services executed, now we are more precise. But basically, we consider the keyword given on the service and the complexity that the law firm thinks that the service is. And based on that and on the area of the service, we find the best fit. Maybe the best fit is a junior lawyer, maybe is a senior lawyer, depending on the complexity. That's how it works.
And when someone subscribes, you check the credentials, the degree, or?
Yes, we do that. And today, to be honest, we do that manually.
Hi, congratulations on the pitch. I'm a lawyer, I work at a law firm, and I was considering, in case the guy I hired through your platform fails the deadline, who should I sue?
We assume the responsibility because we are doing that. And this is our main difference between our competitors and also our biggest disadvantage. We know that. But we have deadlines and procedures that mitigate this risk. And we work with, like, I don't know how to say this in English, but day last one. So we don't put the last deadline for our lawyer. And maybe, if necessary, we will hire other lawyer with our own costs to cover the deadline.
So you anticipate you need a team of lawyers just to like put pressure on whoever is hired to deliver a job?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
You anticipate that you're going to have a team of lawyers actually managing the work that's being hired and the deliveries and etc.
It's not like that. We have a system that sends automatic emails, like, for example, 2 days before the deadline, we send an email. And if we don't get a reply, then our support acts. It's like that.
My question is more technically, do you charge internally in your platform between the law firm and the lawyer? Because, I mean, do you keep control of the economic transactions between lawyer and the law firms? Or because you charge a fee, right?
Yes.
So how do you keep control on those transactions?
All transactions occur with us. So we are part of the transaction. So the law firm sends us the proposal, and then we send the proposals to the lawyer. So we know all the values that are transactioned on our platform.
Thank you.
How do you manage bypass? How is it that you ensure that I won't find a lawyer there and close with him outside the platform?
Like, we build a system that builds more trust and security between lawyers. So what we want to do is to be better than hire outside the platform. And with clear rules and clear deadlines, with effective support, the law firms that are using the platform, they are giving us feedback that they prefer to hire on our platform than to hire the lawyer. Because if the lawyer doesn't fill the deadline, what they can do? With us, they have a guarantee.
So you're an insurance, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we can proceed to the next speech, which is from Legal Boards, here represented by Ms. Flavia Borges. Let's hear from her, please. Legal Boards, in particular, is cloud-based services which empowers legal practitioners to plan, build, and execute customized workflows for daily works. So, Ms. Borges, you may have the floor.
Good night. My name is Flavia. I'm a legal advisor and partner of Legal Boards. We lawyers, we are used to organize our workflow with Excel tables. We know that we have a lot of technology options, and when we decided to hire one system, we hire an Excel with links, one legal management software. Legal Boards doesn't want to be an Excel with links, neither to compete with legal management softwares. We want to help lawyers, law departments, law firms to simplify, plan, build, and execute customized automations for the daily work. Here it's our system. We are the first app using agile methodology, Kanban process. We can create customized automations and tasks. Here, for example, we can do an automation from the first column, client intaker, to, for example, the drafting column, and send an email with a task for the responsible lawyer. An overview of our market, the number of lawyers in the US and the number of lawyers in Brazil, and the amount spent by law departments only on legal technology in USA in 2015 and 2019. Our revenue streams: a monthly subscription, $15 per user, plugin store. Our clients can enhance their platforms with pre-built plugins, and custom setups that our clients can also hire services on demand. Our competitors. We don't have direct competitors, but considering features, generic features, we have several products as indirect competitors among project management and task management tools. Though, considering those same features and specifically focused on the agile legal practice, there are no direct competitors. Our growth strategy is to transform. Talking about competitors, legal management software, we are transforming in our business partners. We are not competing. Our test was with Clio. Clio, it's a legal management software with more than 150,000 users in 90 countries. After the test, in 2 weeks, we received more than 80 registers. After 4 months after our official launch, we've reached these great numbers. We have more than 260 beta users, 15 paying users. We are in 5 countries: Brazil, USA, Canada, Australia, and Holland, in 3 languages: Portuguese, English, and French. Here are some testimonials from users from USA and some recognition. Legal Boards was the first Brazilian Legaltech incubated by Legal Innovation Zone in Canada, in Toronto, Canada. Legal Innovation Zone is the first Legaltech incubator in the world. Last year, we were approved as a start program venture at Mars. Mars is one of the world's largest urban innovation hubs in Toronto, Canada, too. And we received a grant from Ontario's government last year, too. This year, we were selected by Google to be accelerated at Google campus here in São Paulo. In July, we won an extension for more 3 months. And some days ago, we had another good news. We were accepted at Communitech at their scale-up program. Communitech is one of the biggest private public innovation hub in Waterloo in Canada, too. Finally, talking about investment, what we need. We need $180,000 to operations, marketing, sales, and technology costs. Our team, Tainan, our CEO, COO and co-founder, Rafael, our CEO and co-founder, Renata, market and legal advisor, and I. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Flavia, for the presentation. My question is regarding the competitors. I understand that, of course, you're very focused on the legal sector, but I mean, if you need to convince a law firm to use your platform rather than using Trello, for example, which is universal, how would you convince a law firm that you are giving an additional value that Trello doesn't give?
We have automations, very easy to be customized in our basic package that Trello doesn't have. And we are customized for lawyers that make for easier for lawyers.
Congratulations. Regarding your team, what are their background and professions?
Okay, we have our co-founders, our founders, Tainan and Rafael. They are tech specialists. They are not lawyers, and they are working with startups in the technology industry for more than 10 years. They are playing their role as our CTOs.
Okay. And the other ones are lawyers? Also, yourself and the other?
Yes,
okay,
lawyers.
Perfect.
So regarding the difference about Trello, for example, and your system, because they are pretty similar, like in the layout part at least, you mentioned that you have some additional features responding to what Nacho asked. But what about the power-ups? Trello is a freemium model, so I don't have to pay for yeah. So how do you see the competition with those type of platforms?
Yeah, but we see that Trello, for example, it's not enough for the lawyers. We don't see, I don't know, talking about Brazil, many lawyers using to organize their workflow with their specific area. In general, we use for finance, other departments, and with legal boards. We believe that you can easily, with the automations, creating tasks, sending mails for the responsible lawyers, this is easier and better than using Trello.
Yeah, I agree because I use it, but why is your platform different? Because I can do all of that with Trello, for example.
Yes, but with our platform, you can create one board for your consultant area, for your labor area, for your outsourced, if you're a legal department, for your outsourced law firms to work and share with you and do automations. For example, when one contract arrive in your legal department, automatically go for the responsible lawyer that are the column drafting. I think this is the difference, the basic difference.
What kind of automation do you have in basically?
Tainan, where are you? we can do with the columns and cards, tasks, automations.
Make every day the same way. Oh, shit, have a microphone. Oh, awesome. And everything you do every day the same way, you configure in the easy view, and you can make legal boards to do it for you, you know, dispar tasks, reports, and everything. Thank you.
Flavia, how easy is to integrate legal boards with another systems?
We can integrate with every system that has a public API or allow the clients by contract to integrate. That's it.
Thank you very much. For our next pitch, we have Mr. Alexandre Cabral from Neuromind. Here you go. Excuse me, please. Here you go. Just a second. Neuromind. Here you go. So, NeuroMind is a legal tech which offers smart solutions for analyzing legal, financial, and personal identification documents. So, please have the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm Alexandre Cabral, Business Manager Developer of NeuroMind, a proud member of Top 10 Startup in Computer Vision according to 100 Open Startups 2019 edition. This is the problem that we addressed in our value proposition. Whenever decision-making needs to be based on analyzing a large set of information stored in documents or emails under compliance rules, these problems can occur. Low productivity, mistakes, misunderstandings, risks of non-compliance, and lagging and unsecure decision-making. This affects a large number of segments, whether in industry or service, but especially back-office activities involving information analysis for decision-making. Providing this information into digital without the proper analysis tool changes the media on which the problem can occur. Our amazing team of 25 people work together in our branches of Campinas and Belo Horizonte, delivering solutions for our customer. Our strong technological capability allows us to deliver the right solution to the client. Our proprietary algorithms allow this to be done in very short time frames. Tagger is a solution that involves different processes aimed at collecting and analyzing reputational due diligence information, combining legal rules with clients' own rules. Client can define what is right, what is acceptable, and what is wrong. Results could support decision-making processes or feed its usual management system. Some examples of Tagger in action. It is a property deed. On my right, the original document. On the left side, the document analyzed with information extracted and put it onto the original document in a very friendly user interface. We can do this for property deeds, purchase agreements, letter of attorney, legal decisions on official gazette. It's another kind of user of Tagger analyzing an object, in this case a vehicle. In this case, a vehicle with a register of robbery on transit department. We have a customer, and we have highly scalable. We achieved very significant numbers in our main client, which works with stressed industrial assets. In this business, he needs to analyze several real estate documents. Over the course of a year, Tagger analyzed more than 10,000 properties, which would be impossible with previous methods. We have a highly scalable business model. Once trained to read a document in specific context, Tagger is prepared to do the same for any context of the same document. Legal and clients' compliance rules can be easily changed on the platform, allowing us to grow fast and safely and attend new demands. Asking Venia for Mr. Renato Mandaliti, hope to cite incorrectly his company, and apologizing with Mr. Guilherme Miranda, your company must be cited in the next version of this presentation. Our competitor use third-party technology like Google Cloud or IBM Watson, which usually means difficult to fit specific customer demands, or they have business model focused on specific segments. Our capability to fit solution to demand and flexibility to operate in different segments is our biggest competitive advantage. We make money charging customer access to Tagger in a spot or monthly basis. There is no fixed price per access. It depends on the volume, complexity of the business and to be done, and customer potential for expanding business with NeuroMind. But our entry price for a simple document analysis is around 5 cents per access. Since the go-to-market of Tagger, at the end of 2017, our revenues are growing at a 3-digit rate. NeuroMind is wholly owned by its co-founder, ramping up its business model. We have an open fundraising round with $600,000 for seed money. Welcome to the future of your business. We are already there, ready to help you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Amazing presentation. My question is about your customers. Who is your average customer? It's a big law firm? It's a smaller one? I mean, what's your target customer?
We have different applications and different business model for each company related to his size and to his goals. If we are part of ERP, legal ERP, we have in price. And if you have a small firm with a small volume of documents, a small user of Tagger, and small possibilities to have new business within their own mind, we use our flat rate. My main customer is Enforced, seated here, and we have a price of a long-term development with him. We have a lot of opportunities inside there, and about half of our revenues today come from Enforced.
But what is the sector of these clients?
Enforced works with industrial stressed assets. If you go to bankruptcy, a bank gets your assets and sell to Enforce that need to sell these things very, very fast. He gains money at the velocity when as he can sell these assets. We help him make a categorization of a group of assets and put in a ranking of easily for sale.
So you have a large, sophisticated team, and we see your revenues so far. What are the projected revenues? I mean, how is this company sustainable with the revenues you are having? And what is your expectation in the next quarter or so?
We achieved the break-even at 2018, last year. And at this year, we project a revenue that we are sure that could be done. With the investment that we are working with investment fund, we think to double this revenue next year, going to an EBITDA from 50%, almost there. We have nowadays 40% of EBITDA. We will grow 25% and then go to 15%.
Hi, congratulations. I saw that you mentioned all the process of analysis of the documentation begins with OCR. And unfortunately, we know that OCR is not 100% accurate. And I'm curious to hear from you, how is your level of accuracy concerning the reading of the documents? And what kind of warning do you give to your user to alert them of a possible false positive, for example?
We have a proprietary OCR. It's designing for the documents. The problems of the generic OCR, like Google, is he's prepared to a generic claim. So we are more accurate than Google for documents with watermark, for documents with handwriting details, only that, not for a general application, and it's not our intent. So we are now in the documents, we know how to analyze. We are over 95% of accuracy, and we have this 5%, we have a tool where we can address to the customer to train the document, train the algorithm to increase this accuracy. If you have a problem analyzing document or a false positive or a false negative, the user can tag that specific document that algorithm know with that.
very much. Now, for our last pitch of this evening, let's hear it for Mr. Marcelo Santamaria, representative of Portal Juris. Portal Juris is a legal tech which works on automatically providing procedural follow-ups to its customers. So, Mr. Santamaria.
It's okay. It's possible to be like this. Esse aqui é o okay. First of all, we would like to thank to be here to present our company. It's a pleasure. I would like to thank International Education and Fundação Getúlio Vargas for this. Okay, Portal Juris, our company. Our company was created to meet a market need and to obtain information from legal processes and its publications, decisions, and movements in an automatic way. Is what are we doing now? A problem to solve. Our customers sometimes are unable or unaware of the process on different currencies and new processes, and we connect to, and we try to connect customers and lawyers. What are the consequences of this problem? The customer loss, time in defense, they lost, legal hearing, and high financial costs. And we from Portal Juris, we develop a system that do the search of legal process and delivery automatically to our customers. What are our value proposition? We provide products and service that we understand that assist customer in making decision in a practical and efficient way, saving time and reducing the financial loss. Considering this, we create 3 products: the monitoramento jurídico, the monitoramento proativo, and the jurista online. The monitoramento jurídico is a system that monitors and sends the daily process occurrence to the national level, okay, all the courts, and send it to the customers. Monitoramento proativo monitors and sends daily occurrence of new customers' proceeds. But we are using this now just for lawyers, to connect the lawyers with new process of their own customers, okay? And Jurist Online, of course, connects customer with lawyers. We understand that our marketing size of this solution, considering lawyers, considering companies and people, we are talking about 60 million of potential customers. And how huge is the market? We understand that this market is a market for $108 million per year, okay? And we from Portal Juris nowadays, the channels that we use to sell our products. We sell our products by our website, we sell our products directly in a consultative sale, and we can customize our solution depends on the customer needs. That's why we're doing now. And this is our data. Now we have 47,000 lawyers in our database, and we have 4,600 customers paying for our service. It's our reality now. And we downloaded each day 199 official diaries in our platform, and 555,000 publications that we treat every day in all the courts in the whole territory. TJs, TRFs, TRTs, TREs, and superior courts, sorry. And this we consider our competitors, but we understand that we deliver our service in a different way than they are doing now. Our revenues, 2017, 2018, and 2019 until the first semester,
these our revenues during these 3 years. And we looking for investment. Of course, we need investor and we need investment. And we understand that we'll use this investment in new products development, in expansion of our development team, and use this for marketing actions. And here are our team. Luis Mario is our technical engineering and support. Our co-founder is Fatima Maria, me as a co-owner and CEO, and Andrea is our marketing director. That's it. Obrigado.
Congratulations. Your main business is the monitoring of the courts, right?
Yeah.
I want to know how much percent is that and how much percent is the marketplace for lawyers?
Well, I understand that we have 2 situations here. Our customers, we have these 4,600 customers that pay for our service. Normally are companies and people in general who wants to be monitorized in legal procedures, okay? They want to know their process, they want to know time for their process, but they use this to compare with their lawyers, to compare with the information about the lawyers give to him, okay? It's like a match. We match the information, the lawyers, as I am seeing a company or a person. That's it. Because you understand, we are the other side of the market.
And speaking of your co-founders, one you said was the technical side, and she's a lawyer, the other co-founder?
No, we don't have lawyers. We just have one consultant lawyer. Is here, Mr. Gustavo Castelo Branco. Is just one lawyer that gave us consultant. Okay?
Outside counsel, okay.
We are a team of engineering, salesmen, financial guys. That's it.
Hi, congrats on your first
thank
pitch.
you.
Thank
you.
So, in one of your slides, you mentioned you had 47,000 lawyers in your database. How are you considering those lawyers? Are they unique monthly users, or what are they? Okay. And then you say you only have 10% of those lawyers as customers, around 4,600. Right.
Okay.
So if you could explain.
These 47,000 lawyers, we did last year an agreement with OAB Distrito Federal and one OAB Santos, and we provide them this solution without cost. Okay, they don't pay for it. Okay. They have it free as a charge.
But they use it.
They use it.
Okay.
They use it daily. Our money becomes from companies and people, not from lawyers. It's a different way to do business. Okay.
So you're B2B.
We are B2B.
Okay.
We are B2B.
So I want to know a little bit more about how you see your business evolving, because if I look at the revenues, it looks like in 2019 you are up to low revenues than in the previous year.
Yeah.
So, and then you talk about the need to develop new products. So what is it that you have in mind? So why, first of all, why is that going down? Is because of the enormous competition you're facing? And what is it that you are planning to develop?
These numbers are really our numbers, okay? Okay, and considering 2017 to 2018, okay, some companies that are our customers don't use more our service. The reason why I understand that they maybe change their mind in what are the service that we deliver. Maybe they understand that they can do the same thing in a different way, okay? But regarding the question that you asked me about the use of the investments, okay? Now we have three biggest commercials bureau in Brazil that using our service. And we need to provide them three different products, for each one is customized products that we use this money, we understand that we use this money, okay, to deliver this service for them. This we are considering to increase develop area of our guys, our technical guys, and we understand that we use this for deliver the product that we already has contract to deliver, to produce or to develop, okay? Because this is contract that we have in our hands and we need to deliver it.
Hi, congrats for
Yeah,
pitch.
thank you.
I understand that your product is basically like it researches on follow-ups on legal proceedings. And I'm aware of many other solutions out there that does the same, including some of them are actually free for use.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
actually free without
Okay.
some features, etc.
Mhm.
Now, how does your technology differs from what we see around in this segment?
Okay. The way that you deliver our service, our solution, is different. We have our own system. We created it. It's easier for us to, how can I say? It's easier for us to module this, deliver this service as the necessity of the customer. Let me tell you, regarding the courts, okay, regarding the process that we treat every day, we treat criminal process, we treat civil process, we treat all kinds of process, and we can deliver it depend on what the customer needs. We can separate each one. We can deliver different, how can I say in English, sorry. We can deliver the way different than the others are doing now, okay? You saw the slide that I show you the competitors of ours. We study a lot their product, we study a lot their service, and we are trying to do different the way that they are selling, okay? Generally is this.
I think it's
Sorry
the
if
last
I
question.
don't respond correctly your question, but basically
Congratulations
is this.
for your first speech. Do you save the data? Do you save all
We
the
have
data?
our
Do you have a
own-
big data?
Yeah.
How many years do you have in storage?
Junior, please help me here. 20 years back. Yeah, 20 years back of process. Yeah, it's a big one. And we storage by ourselves this. We don't use cloud for this, okay, at this moment, okay? Okay. Thank you.
So right now we're ready to go to our final panel and to the announcement of the winner of this year's edition of Venture Day. Before we do that, I'd just like to make a quick announcement. For those of you who wish to get your attendance certificates for this conference, you just have to, when you get out of here, you may pass at the reception and sign our checklist so that we know that you have requested your attendance certificate, all right? So with that having been said, we can move on to our final panel. So I would like to, our final panel is named Challengers for Investment in Legaltech. And for that, I would like to invite to this stage to moderate this panel, Professor Newton Campos, who is a teacher at FGV Business School, director and lead researcher at CEPE, which is the Private Equity and Venture Capital Research Center at FGV, and also, more important, not less important, the director of IE's office in Brazil. So let's hear from him. And as for the panelists, we like to call Ivan Marques, who is a professor at FGV Law and partner of Felsberg. And Mr. Rodrigo Menezes, who is partner of Ontier and Direito Menezes Advogados.
Hello, good night, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to this panel. I'm very happy to be here, and we will have a conversation, very interesting conversation now. Very brief, but interesting, I'm sure, with Rodrigo and Evie about investing in startups and tech startups, and mainly in legal tech startups. So I prepared some questions here, but I would like to, I don't know, maybe to start with Evie, I would like to also let you know we might take about 25 minutes in this panel before we know the results. But I would like to open up also the panelists for asking themselves, because I think it might be fun. First, I will start with Evie, asking, you also invest, right, in startups? I mean, besides participating in this ecosystem, you also invest. Can you tell us a bit about how you've been investing, very, very briefly, just for us to know your involvement with the investment part?
Hello, everyone. Good night. I'm actually very excited to be here and to see so many people, talking about legal techs. Yeah, I've been working in the legal tech ecosystem for a while. 3 years ago, I was doing like a pro bono work for the Association of Legal Tech that was created here in Brazil. And because of that, I started, knowing more and more the companies that were joining the association. And I mean, when you see what they are doing or trying to do, somehow I said I need to understand, what is going on in the market.
You lived abroad as well, right?
Yeah.
You lived abroad?
Yeah, and I lived abroad, but that was 10 years ago in the UK, and they were discussing at that time innovation for law firms. I worked in a very innovative law firm at that time, and I met at that time Richard Susskind, a scholar that's very well known in the sector. So when I came back to Brazil, that was 2012, I was kind of excited and thinking that we're going to see something here. But I mean, it took us 4 years, 2016, for me to hear for the first time the word legal engineer in Brazil,
When was that?
2016.
16.
Yeah. And
do you remember the first time you ever heard about legal technology or legal engineering or something like that? Do you remember?
It was in 2012, but in Silicon Valley. It was not
But
here.
in Brazil, like
In
somebody
Brazil,
working here?
I never heard. The first time that I'm hearing is because Ev is just telling me now.
Okay. And so you've been investing. Can you just tell us?
Yeah, and then when I started
in legal tech startups.
Yeah, I started investing in all kinds.
Yeah.
But then for me, it was kind of natural to try to.
You're really a
see
lawyer,
legal.
Evie. I mean, you're an investor. And
Yeah,
you should
I'm
be
not an investor.
working. I mean, you're an investor.
I've been learning, actually. I'm an M&A lawyer.
Do you have any write-off? Do you have any write-off?
Not yet.
No? Are you sure?
Maybe. Of course, I'm counting on professional, let's say, investors, other investors to really review, and I'm doing the work together and kind of learning. So I cannot say I'm an investor. You guys are,
You are
by
the Ron
far much more.
Conway. You are the Ron Conway of the legal tech industry in Brazil.
Rodrigo, you've been involved with this industry of innovation, technology, startups since a long time, and you also had, was tempted to invest, and you've been investing also. So besides being a lawyer, you're also an investor, curiously. And what is your experience in terms of the kinds of technology that you've been investing? Are there any legal-related investment that you consider doing, and what happened in those cases?
I invested in 9 companies as an angel investor. None of these companies are legal techs or law techs, and none of them, if I'm trying to remember, even the ones that I write off, I write it off to investments. None of them, I mean, even if we pivot something, it will do something regarding to legal tech or to the law tech world. So I don't see that. I don't see this happening, at least. And my perspective is that I don't even like the name legal tech.
Why?
I don't like legal things. If it's legal, I mean, you have to. It's lawyer. I hate lawyers.
Okay.
So we have lawyers here, and it's
So yeah, you should be investing in legal techs.
I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. I love few lawyers. But
well, you have a lot of lawyers in your team.
No, I love the lawyers of my law firm, so I love them. Julio, I love you, man. I mean, I see that. You see, he's on his cell phone. You see, like he's not paying attention to what I'm saying. So he works for my law firm, so he doesn't like a liar anymore. So he's a lawyer that doesn't like lawyers. Good. Shame on me. Shame on me now. Evie, continue, please. No, Evie is the star of this panel. Evie, it's all on you.
How many legal tech?
I invested just in one legal tech, but I've been, looking all the time.
Can you have
it's
an
pretty
idea?
much because, it's my profession, it's the future of my profession. I'm a partner in a law firm, and I really think that they should be trying more. They are not, because I know it's difficult for law firms to be in Brazil, involved. Abroad, law firms, they are creating incubators, accelerators, VC vehicles. They are doing that.
Like corporate venture?
Yes. Yeah, they are.
The big ones?
The big ones, the big law firms.
Medium-sized?
No, the big ones.
The big ones?
The big ones, they are doing, but, it's related to the economics of the business. Big law firms, they can do that. Our partnerships here, they are, a bit stuck. It's harder. But I wish, we had something like this.
You can more than that. I mean, in the U.S. or in the UK, they are companies. They are not law firms. I mean, they can invest directly as a law firm.
Directly.
In Brazil, we cannot do that because we are considered like a different kind of animal. I don't know why they call us. That's why I hate lawyers. I mean, why we are different animals? We should be like everyone else.
But exactly. That's why we need to be, investing and helping them to deregulate the market. And then, we're going to have companies. You're going to have companies here. Law firms as a companies, and then we're going to think, as any other
But
company.
do you see that as a possibility for the future?
I definitely think this is going to happen here in Brazil as well.
Okay. We see,
there's no way of
although I'm very much involved in venture capital, but and especially research in venture capital, I'm not so much into legal tech. But I've seen.
Why
some
you're
numbers.
not too much in legal? No, answer
that's
this
a good question.
Why not?
That's a good
you're
question
here,
for
the
us.
Mediana panel of legal tech. Why you're not interested in legal tech?
It's not that I'm not interested. I'm passionate about education tech, ed tech. But I like all the other techs as well, and I research all the others. It's true. But the legal is too far for me. And but
you hate lawyers?
No, not at all. I have a sister-in-law that she's a lawyer, which is a funny name, right? Sister-in-law. And I love.
I'll make more 2 questions for you, but that's okay. You're the mediator, so.
But anyway, I've seen some numbers here that I got really impressed in terms of the number of law firms in Brazil and the number of lawyers in Brazil. So my question for you is, we've seen. We are seeing these technologies arrive, and probably this will have a big impact in the market. In a market with so many lawyers, right? And how do you foresee those impacts to come? and of course that will impact eventually the amount of people willing to invest on that. Do you see that coming like maybe slowly or more aggressive in the next years? How you that have been following up on this see this evolution?
I think it's gonna be a bit slow here in Brazil.
Okay.
It really depends on regulation and deregulation, and especially international law firms being able to practice here in Brazil. That would make a difference. But I think there will be an impact. And that's why, FGV, Fundação Getúlio Vargas, is involved, because our students, they need to be aware of that.
Yeah.
They're going to see much more than us. So you can hate lawyers. I can, help law firms to become companies, but they are going to be the future, and they're going to be living this. So it's important for students to be aware, especially like junior associates.
But when you say slow, what?
I don't
can
know.
you
Slow is like
I
20
mean,
years.
No, not 20 years. I mean, the first time I
20 years.
heard that was 2010, 2016, the first time I hear here in Brazil.
Yeah.
So maybe in 5 more years, you're going to see like a move, something that is going to be, Evie is not crazy,
I see.
because 5 years ago, I was kind of crazy to my partners.
Yeah.
They used to say Evie and the robots. But now,
Just
now
for
they kind of ask me for advice.
Now you're cool, right? Now you're
I'm
cool.
In 5 years, I'm gonna be, the
Normal.
one. Yeah. normal.
Just for you to know, I like the crazy part of Evie, okay? So I prefer the crazy part.
Okay. What do you think that this? I've been seeing that pretty much the technologies that are involved in legal tech are pretty much related to documents a lot and OCR, right? And of course, machine learning applied to the database that is generated. Do you see any other kind of technology that might be, that join this? I mean, this movement?
Let me say one thing, because it's related to your question, is that a legal tech that is a great legal tech cannot be called a legal tech. Now, speaking seriously, because, the opportunity is not on the legal world. The opportunity is not on the legal side. I like it what Evie said about, so it will be slow, but I don't agree with her that it will be in 5 years. I think that really will be in 15 years, because maybe some big law firms will adopt in 5 years, like 5, 6, or maybe our law firms, because we are in the frontier of this world, will adopt to that. But this represents what? Less than 1% of the law industry in Brazil. So I don't see this happening in 5 years. Once again, it's my perspective on that. So the legal tech that is being born in Brazil, it will not going to survive working for the legal world. So even if you are on the document side, okay, but I won't be working not only for the law firms, but I'll be working for the legal departments, and maybe some legal departments of companies, they are more favorable because there is one guy there that is more Evie, more Rodrigo. So maybe, but it's still, so you have to make a business that will be on its feet, not only on the legal industry, but on other industries. So you're doing, I know a company called Semantics. That is a company that was invested by Bradesco in Nova Bra, and now there was a follow-on round that recently happened. Great guys, and what they're doing, and they did not start as thinking on the legal world, and then a year and a half ago, I was talking to the founder, and he saw an opportunity that really would kill like most of the legal techs that were born 3 years ago, or they're still being born because of what this guy is doing in big data. So
I see.
It's not a legal text. That's why
it's
I'm
not a legal
challenging.
thing.
That's why I'm challenging. The audience. To think, and especially the founders of legal text, because I saw, and this is for real. I saw very good pitches here. It surprised me. I have to say that. So, and founders that were prepared, at least at the pitch, were prepared to say the proper and the right things. So I challenge to the legal tax to not be legal tax. So legal is just another industry that can be good, pay the bills, even give a lot of profit, but it's just one pot.
I see. Thank you. Interesting. We are approaching the end. They are waiting for the announcement of the final winner that will go to Madrid. And just I don't know, like a final message that you could share with the audience.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
No, I just want to interact
okay.
with Rodrigo. No, I agree with you. But
With the 15 years? No.
no, not the 15. No, 5 years is for us to start, really seeing that in our law firm and legal
Okay.
departments, but
Bigger
not really,
firms,
revolution.
not
No,
popular-
it's gonna take,
in a
it's not
popular way.
everybody, especially because B2C business is not allowed by
Okay.
our regulator. So while we don't have deregulation, we're not gonna see that for everybody,
I see.
and access of justice to everybody. But my main question for the audience and for thinking on investments is exit. When we think about as a VC investor, we always think about who is going to buy this company later on, and this is a big question mark for me. And maybe those companies that could be somehow involved in the legal tech, but they are focusing on not other ones. They could be interested by entering the market, purchasing legal techs, because it is specific. You do need lawyers. It's hard to sell. It's a long sales cycle. So maybe it could be an exit for those companies. So maybe you should continue focusing on legal, but thinking on how you're gonna be obtaining investment. It's not easy abroad. It's not easy here in Brazil, and thinking for whom you're gonna sell the company later on, if that's your main goal.
Yeah, nice. Thank you. Any message, final message?
I will agree with Evie now. And just one thing is that I remember, think about TOTUS, okay? So TOTUS is a software company that acquired, I think, 2 legal ERP softwares. And so they created the TOTUS, the legal TOTUS. And I agree with that. So but these will also limitate what you can do as a tech startup. So as a legal, so it will limitate. So you always see a limit. You always see like a cap. Okay, this barrier, and you always be anxious to be acquired by this guy, not TOTUS. I mean, but the guy that by semantics, put it this way, that will become a unicorn in 5 years. Let's say that. So it will always be like the smaller part. You will always be one vertical. So if you want to think, like, since we are in the startup thing, you want to do big. Do not be only legal.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you guys for following our conversation here, and let's pass to the final part of the event. And thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all for this wonderful panel. So we are finally approaching the closing ceremony and winner announcement of this event. And to do that, I would like to invite to the stage Antier's Júlia Alexandrino and our own Professor Maria Lúcia Padua Lima from FGV Law School, who will carry on this final part of our ceremony. Also, I will be calling Professor Javier Sendra to follow on the ceremony as well, of course. So, Professor Javier as well.
Okay, so we've come to the end of this event. I think it has been really, really interesting, really well put by FGB team. So thanks to all of you for this wonderful event. And we've seen, I would say, 6 excellent pitches. I think there's no doubt about that. And one of the reasons these pitches are very good are obviously because the ideas and the teams behind are excellent, but also because they've been coached by someone that has a huge experience in doing this. So I want an applause from all of you for Nacho Mateo, Chief of Investor Relations at AI, who has been with the teams, helping them to make sure that in 5 minutes, they could explain to us all the secrets of their companies. Now, we are going to mention 2 startups. I'm going to mention myself the runner-up, and then the winner will be announced. So the runner-up, and this has been a tough decision, is Deep Legal.
Okay. It is on me then to announce the winner, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So we don't have an envelope. It would be fancier, but I have this napkin. So, in the idea of innovation, we have to announce the winner, and the winner is, a round of applause, please, Direito.
Sim. Let's go to the here. For the center. Yeah, yeah. Here. Just so you see them. Yeah. Excellent.
Gostaria de agradecer a todos. Muito obrigada pela presença e, para mim, particularmente, é uma emoção enorme, vou, inclusive falar em português, o Javier nos entende, porque nós criamos essa Liga das Escolas em 2012, and we created the Law Schools Global League, and I'm so proud to see all these people and all this initiative, because we know how hard our team work and how hard your team work, and you are working together, and you are so happy to see the fruits of our efforts. Thanks so much.
So, thank you very much. Thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you to all the contestants. All the pitches were very, very interesting, very good. Thank you to our sponsors, ASP, the Alternative Association of São Paulo. Thank you to all our partners who helped us make this happen, to organize. Thank you to IE University. Thank you to all colleagues in the Center for Education, Research, and Innovation, FGV Law School. And thank you to all of you who came here tonight and took your time to follow on this and support this conference. Thank you very much. Good night. Muito obrigado. Boa noite.